But this is your first film as a feature director. J.D. Salinger, of course, is an American icon. What does this film show us about Salinger that we did not explain or did not know before?
Well, the story behind how he came to write the book is unbelievable. I mean, it's this unbelievably powerful story of someone who went to war and was traumatized. And he'd been writing Holden Caulfield stories since 8 years before he actually wrote the book, and he had 6 chapters of the book with him when he shipped out on D-Day. So, it's a very dramatic story, but then there's also this other story, which is just the story of the creative process and the journey of the writer. And I think it's a very universal story for artists of any kind, what they go through, the struggles they go through, the rejection.
Is that what attracted you to it when you read the biography that the book is based on?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, both of them, actually. The fact that this information that I knew nothing about his actual life, I thought was completely fascinating. But then at the same time, to be able to tell that story, but then to tell this universal story, which is completely tied into my own life and to the life of all my friends that are all artists in different ways. I just thought, you don't get an opportunity to be able to tell that story, but to be able to tell it and also tell the story of how J.D. Salinger wrote Catcher in the Rye, it was sort of undeniable that I had to do it.
Now, guys, for the two of you, Salinger obviously is an American literary icon, which comes, I would assume, brings some weight for an actor and for people in a film like that. How did you guys access that story for yourselves as actors?
It was terrifying. It was like so exciting because Danny had written such a wonderful script, and to learn about his life. And also, one of the most exciting things I found about it was aligning his writing with what was happening in his life at that time and trying to decode. Actually, a lot of his writing is quite autobiographical in terms of what was going on in his life. Yeah, so you could kind of get little tidbits of information and align things like that. So that was very exciting. And then
it felt like a crash course in the 30s and 40s, and being able to, because everyone romanticizes the elite New York society. We see it so often in film and TV, and for a reason, because it was a very special time.
The society aspects that you were talking about were really interesting to look into, because it was something that Salinger wasn't quite a part of, and because of his Jewish heritage also was kind of rejected because of his father and things like this. And then so he then when he did get accepted into that part of society, the elite, after becoming successful, he couldn't handle it and rejected it as being horrible. So it's
upper middle class.
Right.
No.
It seemed like the life of J.D. Salinger and the legend of J.D. Salinger is always, it's like the great American push-pull with success and then what success actually brings you. And to that, Nicholas, I mean, in one level, a great success, because you're working with, Victor Garber plays your father, and Kevin Spacey plays your mentor. Yeah. And what was it like for you? I mean, you and Kevin are head-to-head in this. What was that like?
When you have such a powerful character as Salinger, and everything that he believes in at that time, then you need someone equally as strong to come in and wrangle him and bring the best out of him. And Whit Burnett, the character that Kevin played, he brought a lack of sentimentality to it, but also this real power and drive, where it was just wonderful to watch him in scenes, because you could see how that person was the person to manage to sculpt Salinger into the writer that he was. But Danny wrote such a wonderful script for this. It was so tight and brought around so many interesting aspects of his life. And yeah, it was wonderful. The second you read the script, you pictured the film perfectly in your mind. So
you were working on this film well into the last weeks of last year. Now that it's done, looking back at it as your directorial feature debut, how does it feel? Do you feel like, yeah, that's the movie I wanted to make? These are the people I wanted to make it with?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my cast is second to none. I mean, I think these are two of the best actors of their generation. They're both amazing. Then to have Kevin Spacey, who's a legend, and Sarah Paulson,
and you've worked with
Hope
Kevin
Davis.
Before,
yeah, Kevin and I did Recount together, and we had a terrific experience on that. So it was a dream cast, and I think the film came together really well. I mean, it's going to premiere January 24th, which is very soon, and it's very nerve-wracking for me because I finished it 4 weeks ago, and only about 10 people have seen the final version of the movie. So when I premiere
So your J.D. Salinger movie is kind of like the legend of J.D. Salinger. Nobody gets to see it.
No one gets to see it, but it will all be revealed very soon. So I'm sort of, cautiously optimistic
so
that
you've bought
people
your
are going
house
to enjoy it.
in the woods that you're going to hide out
Yeah, I'm
in
ready
for
to
the
go.
rest
I'm ready to go to the woods.
Of Park City.
Yeah.
In the hills of Park City or the hills of Studio City, either way. But
I haven't even seen it.
Nick's not seen it. Kevin Spacey
You haven't
hasn't seen it.
you haven't seen the completed film?
No, I haven't even seen a rough cut.